All right, everyone, welcome back to the land of Chem. I'm your host and the author. My name is Jeffrey Drum. Thank you all so much for joining me again. All right, everyone, welcome back to the first installment of an absolutely monumental, groundbreaking series investigating the applications of different types of stone utilized in the construction of the Egyptian pyramids and adjacent temples. This is episode 88, Functional Pyramid Stone Part 1, Black Basalt. And today I will be presenting a microscope analysis of samples of black basalt from the southern temple of the Pyramid of Userkaf, courtesy of the Isida Project, followed by an explanation of the properties of black basalt that were integrated into the construction of these structures to facilitate the chemical reaction process. This is the first installment of what will be an extensive ongoing series here on the channel. So if this is the type of content you're interested in regarding the function of the Egyptian pyramids, please subscribe to the Land of Chem here on YouTube. Click that little notification bell, like, comment, and stay tuned. If you want to support the channel, thelandofchem.com. If you want to follow me on Instagram, my handle is @thelandofchem. Also, if you'd like to see an exclusive preview of my special permission access visit into the Pyramid of Userkaf, go check out Ancient Odysseys here on YouTube. This is her first video, and it's better than anything I've ever done. She'll have a lot of content coming up soon, including some research using the infamous dicyanin lenses, a special type of glass that is infused with dicyanin that enables you to see the aura, or rather the electromagnetic energy field surrounding human beings, or more specifically in this case, structures. And we took 3 different types of these lenses out to the Giza Plateau, took a look at some pyramids with some very interesting results that will be coming up on her channel soon. So I'll put a link in the video description below. If you would, go show some love, like, comment, and subscribe to Ancient Odysseys here on YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, I think that is it for today's intro. So without further ado, let's get right to it. All right, everyone, here we go with tonight's episode. So here are some images of black basalt. And this type of stone can be found all over the sites in Egypt, integrated mostly into the paving stones of the temples, but also into other features, such as walls and casing blocks. And by the end of this video, you will understand why. This particular image comes from the Pyramid of Niuserre in Abu Sir. And you can see the black basalt paving and the remnants of some temple walls also made from black basalt here. And this spectacular image that I took way back during my 2017 research expedition shows a saw blade cut in this piece of black basalt. And just take a look at the curved section here, which is the end of the saw cut, and it indicates the thickness of the metal blade that was used to saw through this piece of stone. And here are the black basalt paving stones of the Great Pyramid's Eastern Temple, one of my favorite areas of the Giza Plateau. And another image of a metal saw blade cut through this piece of stone that still has remnants of the green copper oxide here, which was proven back in episode 53, a metallurgical analysis of ancient Egyptian saw blades, to be an alloy of copper and arsenic known as arsenical bronze that produces a much harder saw blade with an abrasive slurry that contains particles of minerals like ilmenite crystal composed of aluminum and iron oxides, which facilitated the cutting process. And if you haven't seen that episode yet, I will put a link in the video description below, as it is a must watch if you are looking for a greater understanding of the ancient stone cutting process. And I also proposed a hypothesis of the types of machines that were used in the cutting process. Simple, physics-based cutting machines with high gear ratios that could produce very fast-moving saw blades or core drills. And the black basalt stones that were used in the construction of the Egyptian pyramids and adjacent temples are 100% natural rocks that were quarried from a site called Wadi al-Faras. As you can see here in this article, Old Kingdom basalt quarrying activities at Wadi al-Faras in the northern Fayum Desert. And I will read this section verbatim. The quarry of Wadi al-Faras in the northern Fayum Desert was the source of basalt used mainly for paving mortuary temple floors in some of the 4th and 5th dynasty pyramid complexes. An examination of the layout of the quarry and the attached infrastructure, as well as the extracted volumes and the use of the basalt, indicates a campaign-like seasonal exploitation of the stone linked to the high level of Lake Moeris during the 4th and 5th dynasties. These conditions enabled medium-sized basalt blocks to be transported largely via water to the pyramid construction sites, thus avoiding lengthy and difficult carriage over land. Does any of this sound familiar? It should, as I presented this exact same idea back in episode 38, Building the Great Pyramid with Water, link in the video description below. Now, the following analysis comes from some samples of the black basalt found in the southern temple at the Pyramid of Userkaf that you can see here in this image, courtesy of the Isida Project. And I just had a special permission access into this off-limit site. And I'm pretty sure we were the first people that have been granted access inside of this pyramid in the past 10 years. And I can guarantee you, you will not see this type of exclusive footage or research anywhere else. And I will be presenting the first high-definition footage that has ever been obtained from inside of these reaction chambers during this week's upcoming Sunday Site Visit 16. And the team at the Isida Project analyzed samples of this black basalt stone and the concrete adhesive used to mortar the blocks. And I will walk you through the full report now, which also includes more brilliant microscopic images of this incredibly functional natural stone construction material. All right, everyone, just a quick reminder that if you want to help support the channel, just check out thelandofchem.com. I have some brand new merch. This is the 6th degree logo, the green lion. The green lion here represents green vitriol or ferrous sulfate, standing on top of a diagram of Newgrange in Ireland, inside of which this chemical was once being produced. Also, the OG 5th degree logo, an image of the central pyramid of Giza featuring an alchemical symbol for hydrochloric acid. This is the G exclusive with the orchid purple logo, and this is the black on black version, one of my current favorite t-shirts on the website. And now, the 2nd edition Egyptian blue print of the Land of Chem book is also now available. Everything now at thelandofchem.com. So if you want to help support the channel, just check out the website. And thank you all so much for the support. All right, now, here are the goals of this analysis by the Isida Project, looking at the potential thermal treatment of the surface of the blocks, complete melting of the basalt, and inclusions of the processing tools. So the primary objective of this research was to investigate the potential use of high temperature processing or cutting that would have resulted in a secondary remelting of the basalt surfaces. And the list of samples here from the southern temple of Userkaf and a few from the Pyramid of Sahure. And also a few from the Pyramid of Nayusere, which I just showed in Abu Sir. And the conclusions of this research are as follows. Basically, these are samples of typical basalts, well crystallized, rather fresh, not affected by secondary changes. There are some small relics of glass, but this is common. No signs of remelting expressed in the corrosion of minerals. An increase in the amount of glass and the appearance of preferential orientation of minerals were noted. So it appears that there was no high temperature processing of the finished surfaces of these stones that resulted in secondary melting of the stone, which means they were not cut using laser beams or magical high temperature acoustic cutting machines, but rather the stone was cut and finished with metal blades and particulate abrasives, as I've just shown evidence of in the previous slides. And here is the first gorgeous microscope image of a thin sample of stone, and the full conclusion here in the description. Well crystallized basalt without signs of melting and predominant orientation of minerals. No signs of remelting and no predominant orientation of the minerals. This is 100% natural quarried stone, and it is verified in every single sample. And the next sample here with the same result, a microscope image and well crystallized basalt without signs of melting and predominant orientation of minerals. And the third sample here, and another stunning microscope image here. And I had absolutely no idea that the basalt would look like this under a microscope. And I think that these are almost more impressive than the images of the crystal from the Hotep at Abu Gharaib that I showed in episode 87. And the exact same result. No melting and no preferential orientation of minerals. But now, here is something interesting. In a sample of the substratum between the basalt and the limestone, and this is referring to the mortar material that I have shown that joins together the blocks of stone in many previous episodes. And here is a microscope image of that adhesive mortar material. And the result shows that it is a concrete cement of sandy argillaceous or sandy limestone composition. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, they were making cements and mortars to join the blocks together. And this is a huge false myth about the construction of the Egyptian pyramids, that they were built without mortar. Nope. Every single one of them used tons of mortar to join the blocks together. But the basalt, granite, and limestone blocks are 100% natural, quarried pieces of stone. And there is overwhelming, prolific evidence of the quarrying and moving of stone in Egypt. Just look at the unfinished obelisk and the stone quarries that you can still go today and visit in places like Aswan and Wadi El Faras that I showed in the previous research article. And even on the Giza Plateau, there are remains of stone quarries sitting right out in front of the central pyramid, which I have shown before, where they were quarrying stones out of the bedrock to level the plateau, and they were using those stones to build the pyramids. And I will breeze through the rest of this document as it shows the same results from absolutely every sample. Natural basalt stone with no secondary remelting or predominant orientation of the minerals that is stuck together using a sand and limestone cement or mortar. And the reason that I wanted to present this document is because this is incredibly important research. And this was conducted almost 10 years ago, and it has never before been seen by the public. And now that I am a team member of the Isida Project, and they have trusted me with this material, I can finally release this to the public. So you can see this absolutely exceptional research that otherwise would have been stored away and never shown to anyone, which would be incredibly unfortunate that no one ever got to see these amazing microscopic images. So thank you so much to the Isida Project for this absolutely tremendous research. And here are a few more images of these black basalt sample areas. Another microscopic image here. Some more samples of black basalt here, showing the same results and same images in the microscope. Another sample here. Another black basalt sample here. The same and similar images within the microscope. And here is more pink cement or mortar, just like we have seen before in the previous site visits. This is more of that pink cement here. And a microscopic image of this concrete cement, most likely sand lime. And this piece here that appeared to be black basalt actually turned out to be a piece of black granite with this really cool microscope image here. And this looks absolutely amazing. Not at all what I would have expected. And to me, it would have been an absolute travesty if this document was never seen. So it is my great pleasure and honor to share this with you today. And here are some samples from the Pyramid of Userkaf with the exact same result. Microscope image here, and the final sample of the cement mortar. All right, now, ladies and gentlemen, what you are about to see is going to completely change your understanding of the construction of the Egyptian pyramids. And this is just the tip of the iceberg of what you can expect during this extensive ongoing series here on the Land of Kebni YouTube channel. So now, without further ado, let me introduce you to the scientific research on the amazing properties and functionality of black basalt. And this unique type of stone was sourced, quarried, and integrated into the construction of these sites for a very specific reason. First, I bring to you this: the utilization of black basalt stone as a sensible heat storage material. This study is to investigate many aspects of black basalt stone as a material of heat storage. Okay, now, do I have your attention? Next up, an investigation of the thermal properties of some black basalt samples in Egypt. This work aims in studying the temperature dependence of the thermal properties, the thermal diffusivity, K, specific heat, CP, and thermal conductivity of some black basalt group samples collected from different regions in the eastern desert of Egypt. The average values of the thermal conductivity of these investigated samples lie within this range. This means that these samples are considered as thermal insulating materials. Okay, so black basalt is being investigated as a heat storage and a heat insulating material. Seems quite relevant to the topic at hand of the industrial scale chemical production with exothermic reactions involving high temperature and high pressures. But is there more? Next up, what are basalt fibers? And I bring you this article discussing this new type of material, which is exactly what it sounds like, a fiber made from black basalt. And it states here, basalt products resist flame, continuous temperatures of up to 700 degrees Celsius, chemicals, acids, and bases, and are very good acoustic and electrical insulators, and also have good mechanical properties. So does any of this sound familiar? So we have heat storage and insulation, chemical resistance against acids and bases, and now acoustic and electrical insulators. But I am not even close to done yet. Next up. Now, this article discussing the thermal and acoustic performance evaluation of new basalt fiber insulation panels for buildings. And of course, one more really hitting the nail on the head, the utilization of some Egyptian raw materials in rock wool industry, thermal and acoustic insulation, and of course discussing the same properties and functionality of fibers made from black basalt. So in today's modern manufacturing and construction industries, we are using extruded basalt fibers because it is impractical to haul massive blocks of stone to use as insulation of buildings, chemical reactors, etc. But in the ancient world, cutting, moving, and lifting massive pieces of stone was child's play. And the ancient civilization that built these structures was using black basalt stone for all of the applications that I have just previously shown, principally for its heat storage properties, but also as an acoustic, i.e. ultrasound that I have discussed before, and electrical insulation properties. And you can see here, more walls outside of the Pyramid of Userkaf, constructed from black basalt that were absorbing and storing heat while also insulating the acoustics and electromagnetic energy fields within these structures. And don't forget about this red quartzite conduit, the inlet of which I personally discovered during my 2022 research expedition right at the base of the Pyramid of Userkaf, which leads from the pyramid underneath a field of black basalt paving stones within the Eastern Temple, which also appears to have walls that were made from black basalt, to finally deposit the chemical into this collection bowl, which may have been one of many at this site, as 5 collection bowls were discovered during the original excavations of its neighbor, the Pyramid of Userkaf, that I will be coming back to soon. So, to summarize, black basalt is a thermal heat storage material that also has applications for acoustic and electromagnetic energy insulation. And there is so much more to be explained that will be coming up soon. But this episode has now laid the foundation for understanding everything that you will see in the subsequent episodes in this series. All of the types of stone were selected intentionally, and they all had specific properties and functions within these structures. So to give you a little preview of the color coding communication that is incorporated into these structures, and as I've said before, that every detail is intended to communicate a function. So when you see black, you now know to think of heat storage and insulative properties. So how do you interpret the code for the white, i.e. limestone, and the red, i.e. granite and quartzite? You'll just have to subscribe and stay tuned. And to close today's episode, here is a clip of the exact moment that I discovered the inlet of this conduit system, and I followed its path through the temple under the heat storing, ultrasound insulating black basalt paving stones to the termination, where it deposited the chemical product into this red quartzite chemical collection bowl. If I follow this all the way out, it'll take me to that bowl, right? That bowl is over in this corner, right? The conduit and the bowl.
Which one?
Remember where the conduit spits out and there's that quartzite bowl? Yeah. Okay. Just wanted to make sure I was going in the right direction to get this. All right, everyone, that is it for today's video. This was episode 88, Functional Pyramid Stone, Part 1, Black Basalt. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. And in the next episode in the series, something you all have been waiting for, my exclusive, private, special permission access into the Pyramid of Userkaf. This is absolutely mind-blowing footage that you will not see anywhere else. So if this is the kind of content you're interested in regarding the function of the Egyptian pyramids, please subscribe to the Land of Chem here on YouTube. Click that little notification bell. Like, comment, and stay tuned if you want to help support the channel. TheLandOfChem.com. If you want to follow me on Instagram, my handle is @TheLandOfChem. Ladies and gentlemen, I think that is it for today's video. So I will see you next time. Yo, are you still watching this? Please subscribe to the Land of Chem here on YouTube and click that little notification button. New videos coming out every single week. And check out this other episode. Come on, do it. Do it now.